How come the stars come to shine when it's dark? From so far away, show us where we are.
Hello, good morning. How are you? I'm fine, remarkably, considering that 0 dark 30 wake-up call. But that's because it was for a long hike up into the Peak District, where I'm doing a day of filming today. I've just got the A7 set up over here by the wall, and I'm shooting a sunrise time lapse of Mam Tor Peak over there.
It really makes me wonder.
One of the things that I wanted to test today was shooting a time lapse in Aperture priority mode. In the past, I've always used a Panasonic GH4 for shooting time lapse, and with the Panasonic, or as a good rule of thumb for any time lapse, you want to be shooting in full manual mode. I've heard that the Sony is very good in Aperture priority mode for time lapse. So what you would usually do for a shot like this, a night to day, or any time lapse where the exposure is changing significantly, is you'd underexpose, say 2 stops, you'd wait 10-15 minutes or whatever until it's overexposed by 2 stops, and then you'd underexpose it by 2 stops again, wait for it to overexpose, and so on, and then correct the images in post. With the Sony, I've heard that it's very good to not bother doing that. So doing that introduces a few problems. Number one, if you've got big fat fingers like I have, you can get camera shake from fiddling with the settings every 10 minutes or so. Number two is you can kick the tripod, as I've done many times, and upset the framing. But apparently the Sony is very good, so that's what we're going to test today. I've got the 14mm 2.8 Samyang on there for a nice big wide shot. We're going to get some of this wall, we're going to get the sunrise in. Some cloud has started to appear now, there was none at the start. It's moving very slowly, there's very little wind, but I think it should be a okay shot. But the main thing is today to prove the technique works and to prove that there's nothing weird, it's not overly flickery or anything odd going on after using Aperture priority. I've got it at f10, so we'll see. Started off at about 1 second at exposure, and we're already down to 1/60th after, I think, about an hour. 5:37. I started it off at about 4:50, so 50 minutes. I'll probably leave it running for another hour or two.
How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's grey outside? It really makes me wonder.
I've just stopped the time lapse at 2,000 images and just under 3 hours. I've had a quick review in camera, as much as I can do. They're still raw files, still unprocessed. And it looks okay. I could have done with a lot more cloud cover. It looks a little bit boring, to be honest. Technically, it's really hard to tell. The main purpose of doing this was technically to just make sure it works. Unfortunately, I made a few mistakes. Number one, I didn't use an ND filter. I always use an ND 1000 for time-lapse during the day, but at 4 o'clock this morning it just didn't seem worthwhile, so I didn't put it on. So it may look a little bit juddery. The wall was something that I really wanted to get in the shot, but by doing so it meant that I had the camera height quite low, which then meant that this long grass, as soon as the wind picked up, was moving around a little bit, and I think it could be quite distracting. Also, having the camera height low meant that I couldn't see much of this valley, which at 4 AM didn't look very good. It was dark, it was black, but as soon as the sun rose up over the peaks, there was a dew on all of the grass and this patchwork countryside, and it looked absolutely incredible. Really, really good, and I missed most of it. So I should have had the camera height higher, should have used an ND filter, and to be honest, somewhere up there would have been a lot better too. But it's a technical test, and we'll see how it looks. I'll put the time-lapse footage at the end of this video. For me now, I'm off over to, I think it's called the Winnats Pass or the Winnats Pass, to do some filming down there, and then I've got a little filming project in the town of Buxton on the way home, so I'll put a bit of that footage up. and I'll put the time-lapse video at the end. Thanks for watching.
So far away and show us where we are. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Ooh, I wonder. Ooh, I just wonder.